Well, the US president has lashed out at both Israel and Iran, accusing both sides of violating the ceasefire with an expletive outburst on live TV.
You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what they're doing.
The truce between the two countries appears to be holding strong for now, as around 4,000 Aussies remain trapped in the region, hoping to soon flee. For their take, let's bring in Housing Minister Clare O'Neill and National Senate Leader Bridget McKenzie. Good morning to both of you. Clare, it does sound like the President is reaching the end of his rope. You could really see the fury, couldn't you, in the US President there. Is our government confident in this ceasefire?
Well, we have seen really good news overnight, Nat, and that is that the ceasefire has been agreed between Israel and Iran, and it seems to be holding for the moment. This is really welcome news. The Australian government supported the military action that was taken unilaterally by the US in regards to Iran. What we want now is to see a diplomatic way out of this, and that seems to be the approach that's being taken here. So this is good news for the country.
Yeah, although it took nearly 24 hours for us to actually say that. Bridget, do you think Donald Trump will achieve peace here?
Well, we all hope so. No one wants to see nuclear-armed Iran. As Germany said, Israel's been doing the world's dirty work. It's great to see the ceasefire negotiated, and the frustration President Trump expressed is real. This is an incredibly stressful situation. We want both Israel and Iran to honour their word for a ceasefire so we can find a peaceful solution and de-escalation. But this will be quite a remarkable outcome if the ceasefire holds for President Trump to have negotiated that.
Let's talk about the Aussies in that region now. A Mercy flight out of Israel was arranged overnight. I think 119 Aussies trying to flee that country. Still about 4,000 more between both Israel and Iran trying to get out. Clare, could you give us an update on our efforts to help them?
Thanks, Nat. One of the most important things that the Australian government does at a time like this is work out how we can provide the most assistance to citizens who find themselves really in a war zone or in the path of conflict. And this is no different. We saw 119 Australians make their way out of Tel Aviv with Australian government support overnight. That's really positive. We have about 3,000 Australians who are in Iran and just north of 1,000 who are in Israel at the moment. So the consulates work with those particular individuals and families to try to help them get out. If you're watching at home at the moment and you've got a family member who's stuck overseas, make sure they've registered with the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade. We have incredible experts who work night and day as hard as they can to help citizens to safety, and I really want to commend their work this morning.
Yeah, you're right. They are the people doing such amazing work. Look, the Prime Minister could be headed to Beijing next month for a face-to-face meeting with Xi Jinping. That would be, I think, his fourth meeting with the Chinese president, while he's still yet to have one with Donald Trump. Bridget, the coalition is pushing him to add Washington, D.C. to that itinerary.
Yeah, Nat, I've been saying repeatedly that the Prime Minister's casual approach to meeting President Trump has actually caught up with him. We know that you don't always have to like your allies, but you should always be respectful to them. And in the last election, we saw anti-Trump rhetoric being used to win a domestic election, and that is having repercussions, I think, right now with our relationship with the US. And it is unfortunate now that it looks like Prime Minister Albanese's focus has been elsewhere. Rather than on meeting President Trump, it's on securing the relationship with Xi Jinping. He turned down the opportunity to meet with the Vice President, J.D. Vance, sort of saying, well, I'm the Prime Minister, I only meet with presidents, which is really, really poor, I think. You should take the opportunity to build the personal relationship, particularly when it looks like a meeting between the President, whilst this issue in the Middle East is ongoing, will be difficult to secure.
Yeah, Clare, are we behind on this? Obviously, he hasn't met Trump. We've also now got the UK confirming it is going to increase its defence spending to 5%. We are currently at 2. We're going to increase it to only 2.3. In the same time, the UK is increasing it to 5. We are well behind, and we haven't even met Trump yet. We don't even know him.
Well, I don't agree with that assessment at all, Nat. We pursue our national interests in the way that we engage with the world. We don't play domestic politics in the way that we see the coalition so consistently doing. If I can just say, you know, if the Prime Minister goes overseas, the coalition get upset about it. If he doesn't go overseas, they also get upset about it. This is really just noise. We take this incredibly seriously. And if you look at the way that Anthony Albanese and our Foreign Minister Penny Wong have turned around Australia's global standing over the past 3 years, it's really a great credit to these national leaders of ours. So I've got enormous confidence in the way that they pursue these relationships, you know, across China and the US and our other friends and partners around the world, and we'll continue to pursue the national interests, and you know, the domestic politics here is not relevant.
Okay, Bridget, I know you're shaking your head, but you guys did call him Airbus Elbow when he went overseas a lot in his first term.
And I've been really clear, Nat, he should have gotten on the plane a lot earlier, to, like other world leaders did before the inauguration of President Trump. Instead, he chose to play domestic politics and use anti-Trump rhetoric during the election. Other leaders went to Florida to sit down with the president before he's inaugurated and develop that relationship. That's what we should have done. This is our key ally, and now we're in a very dangerous and precarious time globally, and we can't just simply pick up the phone or have that personal relationship, as indeed Keir Starmer from the UK can.
Okay. Look, I think we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for your time. We'll see you next week. Here's Chevo.